Hello there. Welcome back to another Quick Tip Tuesday. Today we are talking about one of the things that I get asked a lot, and it is, how do I make my thumbnails? In today's wildly saturated YouTube world, we know that having a thumbnail that stands out, that grabs the viewer's attention, that gets them to click on it is key to your success on this platform. Now, once you've gotten their attention, you still need to deliver great content, but that thumbnail, that first thing, just to get them to click on it and give you a shot, that's what we're talking about today. If this video helps you guys out, make sure to hit the like button below. If you're feeling extra frisky, head over to the website, buy some merch. This one's not on there, but it's new. We're just testing this one out. Little logo, pocket tee. What do you think? Do you like it? Same type of shirt, but it's got a pocket. This one's got a pocket. And lastly, two other updates. One, April 3rd is for sure the first live Fridays for Patreon only. Second link in the description. And two, we might do some daily vlogging around here. We're quarantined and a little bored, and maybe daily vlogging will be that thing that we do during quarantine. I don't know about like everyday daily, but that style of video. We might slip some in there. Slip them in. We'll see. All right, today I'm gonna go through the process of how I make my thumbnails. It's a little involved. We use both Lightroom and Photoshop. And I'm gonna go pretty quick. Any of these steps could probably be broken down into their own video, but today we're just gonna burn through it, and then you can ask questions, and maybe I'll make videos on specific pieces later. But today's Quick Tip Tuesday, so it's gotta be quick-ish. I know these aren't always super quick. All right, the first step is getting the image, and the ideal situation is to actually take a photo while you're vlogging or while you're filming during the day that you can use to create a thumbnail with. That's gonna give you the highest quality image to be able to edit, to be able to make look good, and become your thumbnail. I am terrible at that, and I always forget to take a photo while filming, so I end up taking screenshots, which is not ideal, but it's how I usually do it, so I'm gonna show you that way. Here's what we do. I'm gonna go ahead and edit the video in Premiere. I'm gonna export it so I have the exported final video that I'm ready to upload to YouTube, and then I'm gonna open that in QuickTime. Then once we're in here in QuickTime, instead of hitting play, I'm actually just gonna grab this little play head and move through the video and try to find a spot where my dumb face isn't making a dumb face. Like that's a pretty dumb face. How about that one? Still pretty dumb, but let's go ahead and screenshot it. In order to screenshot the entire window, instead of having to say Shift-Command-4, which makes you decide exactly the box that you wanna outline and screenshot, I'm just gonna hit Shift-Command-5. It's gonna screenshot the entire window. Bam, screenshot. Now I'm gonna grab this guy. I'm gonna move through the rest of the video, trying to just find some points where, again, I don't look ridiculous. Still pretty ridiculous, but it's decent, usable. Again, each time I'm just hitting Shift-Command-5. Oh, that's a good one. Shift-Command-5, bink, Shift-Command-5. All right, last one. Perfect, now that we have those screenshots, we're gonna edit them a little bit in Lightroom, and then we're gonna export them to Photoshop. All right, here we are in Lightroom, and I actually have a Lightroom catalog that is specifically for my thumbnails, and you'll see why I do that in just one moment. We're gonna go over here to folders, we're gonna add a folder. And right here I have a folder called unedited. That's where I drop all my screenshots in there first, then I'll pull them into Lightroom from that spot. So when I open this up, you're gonna see that all of these images up top have already been imported. That one I must have deleted. Here's all my new images right down at the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and import those images. Perfect, then I'm gonna go back to all photographs. I'm gonna find my last image because it has all of the settings that I've kind of been using. It's all the same settings. I like the edit on this one. Here's the before, here's the after. Just kind of sharpen some stuff up, make it a little more contrasty, a little more poppy. I'm gonna go ahead and select all these new images, hit sync, make sure everything is selected but those, hit synchronize, and boom, these new images now have an edit on them. And the edit that I'm gonna do on these images is a little bit more contrasty, has a lot more clarity than I would normally put on images. But with YouTube thumbnails, contrast catches your attention. Things like that is what's gonna pull someone's attention in, and they're gonna say, I wanna know what is behind that door. What's behind door number 2, please? All right, then we're gonna switch over to our develop module here and hit Shift R. That's gonna bring up two side by side so I can compare my last thumbnail image with my current thumbnail image and make sure that they look the same. So I'll grab one of my last thumbnail images, this one with the computer, so I can compare them side by side. I think this one's looking a little bit warm. We're gonna bring that down just a touch. Maybe bring a little bit more of that, and that looks great. Beautiful. Now we're gonna sync up all of these to make sure that they're all the exact same. Unselect that one, let's get out of that mode. I can flip through all these images and say, they're edited, they're colored, ready to rock. And the next thing I do is switch back to the grid view, and I'm gonna bring this grid up a little bit, bring the size up just a touch. This is right here. This is about the size that the thumbnails are going to appear on YouTube. So I can look at my images now and I can say which one of these stands out the most when it's really small. Sometimes you see an image that looks really cool, but then when you shrink it down, you go, oh, it doesn't really look as cool, very, very small. So it's always good during this process, especially when you're choosing which image you're gonna go with, to get them small. All right, so our choices are from here all the way down to this last guy here. Which one stands out the most? Which one pops at this magnification? And I think it's this image that I'm seeing. I'm either gonna say this image or this image. Let's see what this image looks like bigger. Yeah, let's go with that one. Give it a shot. All right, now we're gonna export that image out and we're gonna pull it into Photoshop. And now that we have this image in Photoshop, I'm gonna open up one of my previous thumbnails. All my layers are already there. I'm gonna combine the two to create my new thumbnail. And this is the thumbnail that I chose to open up. We're gonna use this as almost a template to create our new thumbnail, which I totally recommend for you guys. Once you start creating thumbnails that are the right size, that maybe have similar text that you're gonna use over and over again, similar elements, like myself, I use that blue background with that geometric shape over and over and over again. Use those previous thumbnails as templates to make your new thumbnail. It speeds things up. So back in here, we're gonna click back on this image. I'm just gonna grab it, drag it over here, and drop it onto this image. Zoom out a bit, click an option to rescale it. And in general with these, we wanna fill the frame as much as possible. Okay, we have a size just right. We're gonna go ahead and save this as a new image. The very first thing you wanna do is drop your image in there and save it as a new image so you don't accidentally save over your previous thumbnail. All right, so now we're gonna go over here and check out the layers panel. We can see our image here. We can see a curves layer, my geometric design layer, the blue background layer, a hue saturation layer, and then the image that was there before. So if we get rid of that image, you're gonna see a cutout. If we bring that image back in, it's there. So the very first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of that previous image. I'm gonna take these images, I'm gonna white out their masks by clicking the mask, hitting Command and Delete, and since white is my background image, that'll clear the mask. Now I'm gonna turn all these three off, and now all we have left is our image itself. Then I'm gonna click Z, and I'm gonna zoom way in here. Let's go to 500%, and I'm gonna pen tool the desk, and I'm gonna pen tool myself out. If you guys do not know about the pen tool, how to use the pen tool, I highly, highly recommend going on YouTube, start to learn about the pen tool, open up Photoshop, start playing with it, really get used to it. It's a super, super powerful tool in here that can be used for all sorts of stuff. And in this case, we're using the pen tool to draw around the desk and myself so that I can create a selection later. Boom, now that I have myself pen tooled out, now I can start working on the background elements. I'm gonna go back in here and I'm just gonna turn these back on. And again, these are just layers that I created. So I created the geometric pattern in there, I laid that down, I put the color layer on. It's at 80% opacity right now. If I bring it to 100%, you can see it's just a color. So I grab that, I bring it down to 80% opacity. And then I'm gonna grab a mask on that layer. So if there's not a mask on that layer already, so for some reason the layer just looks like this, it doesn't have a mask, right down here, we're gonna click this guy, it's gonna create a mask. Then I'm gonna go up here to my paths panel, I'm gonna command click on the path, that's gonna turn that into a selection. Then I'm gonna go down here, click on my mask, I'm gonna option delete, and click on the mask for the geometric design, option delete, and that is gonna knock it out. Now I'm gonna hit Command D to deselect, and it's done. The cool thing about this too is that because I use the pen tool to create that as a path, now I can always go back and make that selection. For instance, if I decided to put a giant thing of text behind me like text I know, very creative. Let's make this massive. Boom, there it is. I can drag that down. And I can do the same thing with this guy. I could create a mask on there, hit Command, click on my path, that creates that same thing. Because black is in front, I'm gonna use Option Delete, and now it looks like the text is behind me. The power of the pen tool. I usually throw a curves layer on top of this layer and give it a little bit of a tweak, not too crazy or anything, but you can see if I take that curves layer off of there and back on there, off and on, just gives a little more contrast. Once I'm in Photoshop, I know this is the last time I'm gonna be tweaking it, so I want it perfect. And I'm not normally putting the text behind me, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. Bring in a text box over here. We'll just say, Go Pro, select all. We're gonna bring that down. And we're just gonna kind of work with the text, work with the space that we have available over there to kind of play around and create something that works. We're gonna go ahead and group these because I'm gonna add a drop shadow on there, not too harsh. I don't think 64%, we'll bring it down a little bit. I like my angle at 130 and somewhere in there. So with that drop effect off, with it on. Again, we're just trying to make this really readable, really stand out, really quickly kind of pop to the viewer, make them want to click on it. And the same thing here in Photoshop. I usually kind of shrink it on my screen to look at it small. I like to see it small because that's how most people are gonna see this image. It's a thumbnail. And that looks pretty good. I think that's pretty much everything that I would do to my thumbnails in Lightroom and Photoshop. So I'm gonna screenshot from the video. I know, not ideal. It's better to take a photo, then work with it, but I forget a lot. So I'm gonna screenshot from a video. I'm gonna pull it into Lightroom. I'm gonna do some tweaks in Lightroom. I'm gonna export it to Photoshop. I'm usually gonna cut myself out like that so I can drop in that blue background, that geometric. Oh, and also with that blue background, see, I can kind of change the opacity of it, which I've been lightening the opacity in recent videos. I think I've only been doing 50%, which looks more like that, which I'm liking. But everything that I'm creating in that background is now all editable. Because I have that selection cut out, it makes life easy. Again, I know this is a lot of effort to get to that point. I could just take a photo, edit it, and make that my thumbnail, but I really want this to stand out. I want people, when they're looking at a screen full of thumbnails, to say, that one looks cool. And that at least gives me a chance to get in front of people, and hopefully you like this video. If you guys did like this video, hit the like button below. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. Maybe pick up some merch. This is again, not for sale currently, but maybe in the future, we shall see. And I'll see you guys later this week, because this is my full-time job right now. Crushing it. 2 videos a week? Maybe 3? We shall see. Still, again with this thing, that effect doesn't work unless they both go off. Wait, oh, that's... Okay, ready? And I'll see you later this week. Oh crap, come on.